There's different levels to eating, y'all. You actually have, and I'm going to start from the top and go down. You have breatharianism, where you're just eating off the nitrogen atoms base that's inside of the air and breaking these healing constituents down to carbon and what they call sugar. Then from there, you have liquiditarianism, where you're doing nothing but drinking. All you do is drink liquids, and this liquids which will be H3O2, fruit juices, not H2O, which is the wrong water for the wrong physiology. See that physiology for animals and stuff like that. Your water comes from your fruits, H3O2, structured water, healing constituents, carbon constituent chains. Things that's going to fire off ATP, adenosine triphosphate, inside of the cell due to carbon dioxide. See, that's what you need to be drinking. Myoxide. That's what you need to be drinking, H3O2, structured water. Easy water. See that? So you have breatharianism, liquiditarianism. Then from there, you have fruitarianism, which is the diet that was given to us. Fruitarianism, or what you call frugivorism. That is for our physiology and a lot of other different primates. That's what we're supposed to be eating. And I done proved this thousand times over that you're not a herbivore, you're not an omnivore, and you damn sure ain't a carnivore. You are a frugivore. That's why when I put you on an all-fruit diet, your body starts cleansing itself, your cell starts to become elastic, and you start bringing in a lot of hydration, and your energy levels go up, and any disease you have, you get rid of it because you're on your proper diet. Now you're putting your culture on your plate. I'm not going to even go towards animals and go towards beans and grains, because that ain't no damn diet. Beans and grains ain't no diet, and animals sure ain't no diet. So mine stops at the plants. All right, so we're going to say plants, or what you call the vegetable kingdom, then the frugivore fruit kingdom, then the liquiditarian kingdom. You see that? Then the breatharian kingdom. That's the 4 elements of your food. If it goes past vegetables, then you are already deaf. You're walking in a deaf culture, because it's going to bring sickness and disease, because it's acidic forming. And these acids actually brings a mucosa response, and that mucus will kill your ass because it smothers the cells, and it causes the cells to start dividing uncontrollably, or what they call cellular mitosis. This brings on cellular apoptosis, where the cells begin to die and mutate. Now you done went from a acute stage to a typical stage to a subacute stage to a chronic stage to a degenerative stage. And that degenerative stage is deterioration of the cells. That's death, cellular death. All because what you're putting in the gut. You see that? So if you truly want to cleanse the gut, go on a solid food vacation. Do nothing but H3O2. Nothing but fruit juices. If you get too hungry, eat a solid fruit here and there. You know that? And make sure that the solid fruit is full of waters. So make sure you're eating melon, the melon kingdom, and things like that. Cantaloupe, honeydew. You know what I'm saying? Even pumpkin, that's a part of the melon family. Cucumbers, that's a part of the melon family. Make sure you take the skin off the cucumbers. Zucchini, that's a part of the melon family. All right? If that's still too watery, switch over to apples and things like that. Right? Now, while you're on these things, you're going to start hydrating the body. Anybody know what hydration do? Just let your basement flood. You're going to start seeing the furniture moving around. Let that basement flood long enough. You're going to start seeing the walls deteriorate at the bottom and break up, showing you that hydration breaks up calcification and breaks up coagulation and agglomulation. So when you start bringing hydration to the system, you start breaking up all of that hard calcification and systemic acidosis, because acids burn things together. It's called a cationic environment. We're trying to make it an anionic environment. We're trying to bring more electrolytes. We're trying to bring more femininality to the system. See, when it's masculine, shit get destructive, because wars is based in masculine energy. We're trying to bring that balance and bring in Big Mama, the lipids. See, that's Big Mama. And that's where the lymphatic system come in at. That's where calcium come in at, iron phosphate. That's where zinc, selenium. Now we bringing in electrolytes. This is the negative side of chemistry. The negative side of chemistry is the feminine side and what you call the alkaline side. So now we're alkaline in the body because we're hydrating the cells. Now the clunks and things that was making the cells get real hard, like fermented sugars and high fructose corn syrup and bleach white flour and sugar cane that have been extracted from the sugar. Now we breaking up neurotoxins. Now we breaking up, we breaking up toxemia. Now we breaking up uric acid, carbonic acid. See, that water and that hydration breaks things up. See, now once things get breaking up, you got to be careful though, because you don't want it to go into the bloodstream, because then you can go down because your healing crisis. So we got to make sure we're doing it at a steady pace. There's an art to healing. People just out here Googling trying to become herbalists. There's an art to being a healer, y'all. There's an art to being a priest. These things are arts. You got to know, like what the great teacher said, you got to know when to hold them or when to fold them. You got to know when to go head first into the cleanse. You know, level 3, you got to know when to slow them down. You got to know when to cut that fast with some grapes, or to cut that fast with a big ass soup, or to cut that fast with some vegetables. You see that? Because vegetables slow down the healing because all the nitrates that's inside the vegetables, showing you that you're not an herbivore, you're actually a frugivore. So now you got you on your liquid diet, you're on your solid food vacation. Now the hydration is breaking up all of these acids and all of the calcification. Now you moving these things. Now it's time to start bringing in the herb kingdom. Now the herb kingdom is very, very important in this sense, because we're not using it to rebuild the structure. We're using the herbs for its toxicity, because these toxicities in these poisons herbs is going to create your body to have a limitatory response. Notice if you drink too much alcohol, you wake up with a hangover and you throw it up everywhere. Same thing if you take Yaqui 3 bitters. You might get a headache and you throwing up everywhere, because the body is trying to get rid of the poisons or the toxins that's built up within inside of the vegetables that we call herbs. See, I'm not using the herbs to rebuild the body. I'm using the herbs for a purgatory state. I'm trying to purge the body. I'm trying to plumb the body, open up the lymphatic system, open up the tissues, and purge and remove all the toxicities that's been built up in the cells. Well, if you ain't removing it from the gut first, then you can forget it. You can forget it, because the gut is the foundation of your problem. So the first thing we got to cleanse is the gut. Now we're going to get some gentian root. Write these down. We're going to get some gentian root. You see that? Very, very good for the gut. We're going to get some gravel root. Very good gut sweeper. We're going to get some slippery inner bark. Very good to cleanse that gut. We're going to get some Cascara Sagrande. Very good to cleanse that gut. We're going to get some Pavana. Very good to cleanse and to sweep that gut. Now, while you're going out there and you're doing a GI broom, which means we sweeping the GI tract, you need something that's going to start pulling on the interstitial and all the lymph nodes that's associated with the gut. And we gotta put something in it that's going to, incite the nerve system too, because most of the nerves in the gut. So I'm trying to cleanse the gut, which is have a GI, a gastrointestinal tract intestinal broom to sweep the GI. Now, while I'm sweeping the GI, getting all that fecal matter and dead corpuscles and dead corpse animals and shit up out of there, now I got to actually cleanse the lymphatic system. Now it's time to start cleansing all the lymph nodes. So I just gave you a herbal formula for the actual cleansing and the sweeping of the GI broom, or you can go on my website and get my GI super mover or my gut restoration, or you can buy them herbs I just told you yourself and put together your own package, or get my 3 bitters. That is a very, very good gut cleanser. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter, either or. Then after that, we have to simultaneously go after the lymphatic system, because if the gut was calcified and you have dead, rotten animals' flesh and all this putrefaction building up in this rotten defecation of animals in the gut, that means that the lymph nodes have become calcified, because mucus had to respond, and the mucus is going to respond with calcium monotriphosphate, because calcium is your only not your only, I'd be lying if I said that, it's your most highest electrical mineral. That's why calcium is all inside of the lymphatic system. But the thing is, when calcium start mixing with acids, it causes calcification. This is where you get gout from. This is where you get a calcified pineal glands at. This is where you get fluoridation from. This is where you get all these things like gout, arthritis, multiple sclerosis. All these things come from too much damn calcium, because you got too many acids inside of the gut. See that? So the mucosal membrane is going to have to respond to come put out the acids, to put out the fire. The only way it can put the fire out is through a monosaccharide sugar base that's inside of the lymphatic mucosal membrane, and with calcium monotriphosphate. Calcium monotriphosphate mixed with a monosaccharide sugar, glucose, galactose, or fructose. These things mixing with uric acid, carbonic acid, phytic acid, lactic acid, that shit becomes hard as a rock. So now you got lymph nodes inside the gut that's hard as a rock, and the blood capillaries is hard as a rock, and you wonder why you're not absorbing anything and you're not getting any phytonutrients or phytonutrient pharmaceuticals inside of the bloodstream. The reason why you're not getting them inside of the bloodstream is because it's all blocked, because the door is calcified as hell. And that's the reason for the hydration, to break up the calcification, to break up the agglomeration and the coagulation of toxemia that you've been putting in your true God, your true solar plexus, your true sun, which is your gut, which everything springs from. Now you're sweeping it with the GI super movers and the herbs I just gave you, or my 3 bitters, or my GI super movers, or my gut restoration tonic. Now you sweeping it and you pooping out and you pooping out. You got diarrhea. You getting rid of all these different things. Hopefully some worms gonna come out. But if the worms ain't gonna come out, I'm gonna deworm you anyway. See that I always deworm. I deworm everybody the first month of the cleanse. We have to deworm you because you can have a hookworm or a tapeworm or a fluke worm up in there stopping all action because they hate when you start trying to clean them out. They hold on to their dear life. I done seen people pull a worm out their butt and the worm will break off and the other half of the worm will suck back in their booty hole and then regrow itself. So it's some nasty, gnarly things when you start dealing with an acidic medium. We have to realize that parasites is not the cause, they're the effect. Bacteria is not the cause, it's the effect. You see that? Viruses are not the cause, it's the effect. The cause is living an acidic lifestyle, living a lake of fire mentality. Your whole body is on fire and you in pain all day long because you have become a slave to the beast that's in your damn belly. See, that's the true acidosis. That's the cause of all diseases, living in an acidic medium. And we have to clean these acids up out of the body. All right. So now we on the liquid diet. We on the solid food vacation. We got the GIs. We moving and we sweeping all the built up fecal matter outside the intestinal tract. We getting rid of that. And you losing weight and your skin starting to look good too. Because now your skin ain't got to take a poop no more because you pooping by yourself now. So now your skin, which is the largest organ, excretory organ and absorption factor on your body, or what you'll call the third kidney, don't have to take a poop no more. So now your skin clearing up. You ain't got patches and bumps everywhere because your skin don't have to defecate and shit anymore because you're doing it on your own now.
Moonstone, charged up and I'm 2 stone in paradise.